Hello everybody, in this video I have some mixed media art journaling to share with you. This is going to be the second to last spread in this journal. I'm so excited. I've been in this journal like in and out of it since like 2017, can you believe it? So I'm almost at the end. I'm super excited about it. But with this spread, as you can see, the page on the right was already done. I'm pretty sure in 2017, like that was the first stencil or one of the first stencils I ever bought. So I thought I would use that and kind of stick with the colours and the same kind of stenciling, but make it more me now rather than me 4 years ago. So I didn't put masking tape through down the centre because I'll be honest, it was in a different room and I couldn't be bothered to go and get it. So I put washi tape down the centre and gessoed the page on the left. And here I'm adding just a few little bits and pieces of collage paper. Some is Dina Wakley with the circles, and the one I'm using now is a Tim Holtz one. I think it's the typography one or something like that. And I'm using clear gesso to collage those down, so, you know, because if you use a more gluey medium, then putting paint on the surface is a little bit more difficult, so that's why I tend to use clear gesso for collaging in my art journal. And here I'm using that same stencil I used all those years ago to add some texture. I'm using Prima snowflake paste, not because I wanted a snowflakey vibe or anything. It was just that I had just bought it. It was on a really, really good price, like half the usual price it is on Amazon. So it only arrived a few days before this, and I just wanted to try it out. It probably wasn't the best texture paste to use for this spread, to be honest, but as I said, I wanted to try it out. You get this lovely kind of sparkly, frosty finish, but I cover most of that up with paint anyway. The colour I was just adding there was a Lindy's Magical Shaker in Time Travel Teal. I won't be able to link that because I haven't found a new place to get Lindy's from since Thompson's Craft Supplies has closed. And then I'm going in with Dina Wakley Paint in, that is the colour, I did write it down, Lapis, I think. And because the pages were already a bit wet where I added the magical shaker, you're getting kind of different textures of the paint, so really thick bits and then more washed out bits. And then I also wanted to lift it up with a slightly lighter blue. This is the colour, is it Sky? Yes, the colour Sky. Just, yeah, little bits of that to, as I said, lighten up a few places. Then what I wanted to do was use Dina Wakley gloss sprays to have light drips coming down from the top and then like darker drips going down from the bottom, but my spray, the mineral colour, the spray nozzly thing is blocked, so I had to get out a little eyedroppery type thing. But I think just because the pages weren't completely dry, it just you can't really see the drips, they've just blended in. With the colour Night, however, you can see those a little bit better. But with the mineral, it simply wasn't happening. I don't know why. Just maybe it was a bit too light with the other blues in the background. I don't know, but it didn't work. And the reason you can see a box there is I just use a large, it's like 15 by 12 inches box to do any spraying in, just so I don't get it. I don't mind getting it on my work surface so much, but it's when it gets on all the shelves and products I have on my desk I get slightly annoyed. So that's why I use a box like that. So for some focal points, I went to a Dina Wakley Collage Collective book. I think it's Collage Collective 2 Volume 1. I cut out that tag and then punched out some of these circles. The circles were slightly bigger than the 2-inch punch I had, but I'm lazy and I just wanted to use the punch. And then I'm using a distress tool to really rough up those edges, just gives them a much nicer texture. In your journal, I feel like they're just a bit flat if you don't do anything to the edges, just for me personally. Put some string in the tag because it's just a compulsion of mine. I have to have string in a tag. Feels weird if I don't. And I'm sticking that down with the Dina Wakley gel medium. I actually had a lot of problems sticking these down. I think just because the gel medium does take a long time to dry, and because it's card from this Collage Collective. It has both paper and card in it, but the bits I'm using here are card. They were being stubborn about sticking down. It was fine after I left it for a few hours, but I tried to do stuff straight away, which is what I'm doing here, and it just wasn't happening because the stuff was moving around. What I am trying to do though is take Stabilo woody pencils. I've got a turquoisey colour, I use a blue, and then I think I go in with white and black as well, going around the edges of those circles and the tag, then using a water brush to activate the colour a bit, make it more painty and blendy and, you know, words to that effect. And the the blue you can't really see, the turquoise you can see a bit, but the black really, really stood out nicely, so I'm kind of really concentrating on the black. I know for some people mixing blue and black is a big no-no, but I personally quite like it. I still wanted to have those drips coming in from the top. I was being stubborn about it. So I tried again with the gloss spray in the colour Mineral. And again, it didn't work out so well. So I tried instead with some Distress Oxide spray in, I think this is in Speckled Egg. Yeah, it is Speckled Egg. And because that's a very, very opaque thing, which the gloss sprays are meant to be, but it's a different kind of opaque, that was more drippy. It worked a bit better. It's still not quite as drippy as I wanted it, but that's what happens with art journaling. You never get what you plan to do. You get something near that. I decided I needed a better focal point as well. So these are the Tim Holtz quote chips. I just take off the first layer so it doesn't bulk up the journal too much. That first layer comes off really easily off the chipboard, and then again sticking that down with the Dina Wakley gel medium, and I'm going to go around that in a black Stabilo all pencil as well as the black woody to highlight it a bit. And then here I was taking Posca paint pens in white and black to do more doodly things and highlights around all of the different elements. My white Posca paint pen is not behaving itself at the moment. Just like the flow is quite bad. So what I did, it was, you know, when you press the nib down, you get a big of paint come out. I did that on my work surface and then was actually like treating the pen almost like a paintbrush and dipping it into the ink. I think I just have bad luck with Posca paint pens. They don't like me very much. I don't know what it is, but I do like all those light white doodles going around. Here I am taking that Stabilo all pencil. Stabilo all pencils and Stabilo woodies are basically the same thing in a different shape, so you can use them interchangeably. It's just the woodies come in more colour options. And then again, I took the black Posca paint pen to really, really highlight that quote I put there. Like the dark around it makes it really, really stand out. And again, I'm going around all my little circles and other pieces with that black, really adding to the whole doodly, messy vibe of these pages. And then I also, I don't know, when I was sitting there doing this page at this point, I really didn't like it. I actually prefer it more now watching it on screen than I liked it when I was doing it. But I don't know, my art journal spreads never turn out how I plan them. They're always completely different. Sometimes you like them more than others. It seems as well, even though like greens and blues are my favourite colours, the spreads that I do in those colours are never my favourites. I don't know if it's something like because they're my favourite colours, I have higher expectations of myself, and then when I use colours I'm not as fond of, I'm more free when I do it. Like it's like more of a mental block. I don't know, maybe I'm just talking nonsense, but that seems to happen. Anyway, a lot of the stenciling had got lost, so I'm taking, again, the black Posca paint pen and going around some of the stenciling just to really highlight it, just so you can see it in the background, doing it in a really messy way. I couldn't be bothered to do it neatly. But yeah, as I said, it just kind of highlights some of that stenciling that had been lost and some of that stenciling which is, you know, 4 years old now. And I'm just going to finish off with some splatters with that mineral gloss spray that I had not had fun with earlier, but it did work very nicely for the splatters. I thought white splatters would be a little bit too much. These very light blue splatters blend in a little bit more, and I think, as I said, I think they work better than white splatters. And that is going to be it for this spread. So thank you so much for watching. Relevant links as always in the description box. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Chat to me down in the comments. Let me know, do you struggle with certain colours, like with your favourite colours? Do you ever have an art journal spread that goes exactly how you planned, or is it always different like it is for me? Let me know. But yeah, that is going to be enough from me. I am now going. Thank you again. Bye bye.